Did you know? The makers of The Matrix hid several clever bits of world building within their films. They were very mindful of what colors were seen in the movies and where. Scenes set within the real world were color corrected in post-production to give off a blue tint, while scenes in The Matrix were given a green tint. They avoided using blue wherever they could while in The Matrix, as they felt the color represented the real world. In the Red Lady scene where Morpheus is explaining the danger of agents to Neo, every single one of the background extras is part of a pair of identical twins. The film's directors, Andy and Lana Wachowski, went out of their way to cast twins for this scene and this scene alone. It's mentioned that the character Mouse wrote this program, and the implications for all the identical twins is that he designed about half of what he needed, got lazy, and copy-pasted the code. The Wachowskis originally intended for the character Switch to be played by both a male and female actor, one in the real world and one in The Matrix. Because a person's avatar within The Matrix is their idealized self-image, this probably implied that Switch is transgender. This was perhaps an outlet for Lana Wachowski, who was dealing with similar issues at the time and eventually went through a sex change procedure herself. It's very likely that its creators originally envisioned a very different purpose for The Matrix in the films. It's generally thought that the Wachowskis wanted the machines to use humans as a makeshift neural processor for computing power. Supposedly, executives at Warner Bros. Forced the pair to change the idea and turn the humans into an energy source, fearing that a general audience wouldn't understand the concept. Another change was that the megacity within The Matrix was originally identified as Chicago in early drafts of the script, and many streets or landmarks called out within the film are references to real places in the Windy City. However, in the final product, the megacity represents any and all modern cities. To promote the release of the first Matrix film in theaters, Warner Bros. Contracted several writers and artists to create short stories and comics set within the blossoming universe, most notably author Neil Gaiman. The comics were relatively successful and were produced until 2004. They were eventually collected and published in 2 volumes by the Wachowskis' comic company, Burly Man Entertainment. These stories covered a variety of subjects, from rebels attempting to liberate babies before they were put into the Matrix, to the machines training a fighter pilot against aliens attempting to collide the moon with the Earth. Comics aren't the only medium the Matrix has found its way into. The Wachowskis openly count anime as a major influence for the franchise. They even offered collaborations to several prominent Japanese animators after meeting them during the promotion of the first film in Japan. The resulting series of shorts expanded the Matrix universe much further, and even gave us an origin story for the machines. It was released as The Animatrix. Though many works have derived from The Matrix, the film seems to have taken much of its premise from another project. The world of the Matrix franchise bears an uncanny resemblance to a comic book series titled The Invisibles, created by writer Grant Morrison. The comic features a group of leather-clad terrorists that possess otherworldly powers fighting against Men in Black-styled agents of the establishment, and the reality we know and understand is just an illusion to keep people subservient. The real world is ruled by insect-esque demons. Morrison himself described the similarities in his 2011 nonfiction book Super Gods: Our World in the Age of the Superhero. I was taken to see The Matrix and saw what seemed to be my own combination of ideas enacted on the screen. Fetish clothes, bald heads, kung fu, and magic. In a 2005 interview with Daniel Robert Epstein of SuicideGirls.com, Morrison claimed that the Wachowskis were definitely familiar with his work. I'd asked him to write one of the pre-release comics to promote the first Matrix, and that copies of The Invisibles were given to the Matrix Trilogy's design staff and passed around on set as reference material. He also went on record saying that he isn't upset that the films copied his work, but wishes that he had somehow been credited or compensated for them. He also said that he enjoyed the first movie and wished that the 2 sequels had kept stealing his ideas. The opening scene where Trinity escapes from several agents actually got the rest of the movie made. After giving the Wachowskis the green light, Warner Bros. Balked at the projected $60 million budget, and instead gave the pair just $10 million. The duo spent the entirety of the $10 million filming this opening sequence and presented it to the executives at Warner Bros. They were so impressed at the quality of this first chunk of the movie that they greenlit the rest of the film and agreed to give the Wachowskis the entirety of their projected budget. Interestingly, despite having several millions of dollars for this sequence, the set designers still had to recycle rooftop sets from 1998's Dark City because the budget was spread so thin. The Matrix could have had a very, very different cast. According to an interview with composer Don Davis, Johnny Depp was the Wachowskis' first choice for Neo, but Warner Bros. Was not interested in the flourishing star. Instead, the studio wanted either Brad Pitt or Val Kilmer for the part, so much so that they would have greenlit the project on the spot if the Wachowskis could get Pitt for the lead. Nicolas Cage was approached for the role, but turned it down because he didn't want to spend a lot of time away from his family filming in Australia. Likewise, Will Smith was also approached, but turned it down in favor of Wild Wild West. Smith has since stated that he doesn't regret turning the part down because he would have gotten the character all wrong. Other actors considered for Neo were Leonardo DiCaprio, Ewan McGregor, and Tom Cruise, before Keanu Reeves eventually nabbed the part. Jean Reno turned down the part of Agent Smith because he was also unwilling to move to Australia for the production of the film. The part of Seraph was originally written for Jet Li, who refused because the studio was unwilling to pay him the $13 million he demanded. Samuel L. Jackson, Gary Oldman, and Chow Yun-fat were all offered the part of Morpheus, but turned it down for various reasons. As did Russell Crowe, who claimed, "I just didn't get it. I couldn't get past page 42. Another actor who declined a role because they did not understand the series' complex plot was Sean Connery. For a while, it was rumored that Warner Brothers approached him for Morpheus, but the part was instead later revealed to be that of the Architect. Connery's confusion now makes a lot more sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Presumably, you're watching this video because you're a fan of The Matrix and the Animatrix. So, maybe you're a fan of anime too. If you're looking for an easy way to watch anime, Crunchyroll might be for you. They're even offering a free trial of their premium service to Did You Know movie viewers. Crunchyroll have hit action animes like Naruto, Digimon Adventure Tri, and Sword Art Online, as well as shows like Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. With Crunchyroll Premium, you can watch episodes ad-free within an hour after they air in Japan. You can watch them in your living room, on your PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, your desktop computer, and even your mobile devices. Everything on Crunchyroll is officially licensed and helps support the hardworking content creators back in Japan. So if you want easy access to the latest and greatest anime, be sure to try out this special 30-day free trial of Crunchyroll Premium by going to crunchyroll.com/DYKM or by clicking the link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe for more facts and trivia, but before you go, you can click right over here to watch our video on Star Wars. And hey, my name's Lee. A few friends and I just started up a channel called Arcadia. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff on the way, including some thought pieces and reviews on movies. But for now, click right here to check out my video on Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. They're pretty good games, I like them. I mean, they're not perfect, but, you know, they're solid.